Well, hello again. And this time I wanted to talk with you. I've mentioned it in several of my videos. And I showed you this text here of the world's 16 crucified saviors. And I pointed out in our study of Justin Martyr, a passage that he spoke about, saying that all these solar deities, the sons of Jupiter, sons of Job, sons of Zeus, were nothing more than solar deities, and that Justin Martyr said that Jesus Christ, when he talks about him, is not proclaiming anything different than what people already believed about these other solar deities. He also went on to say that he, or we, as a group of Christians, as peoples of the earth, used to worship Bacchus. We used to worship Apollo. But we've realized that these things were written by demons, and so now we worship Jesus, who is no different than they. So I wanted to try and explain a bit to you, although there are many videos online that you can see that will explain this to you. But you can see many of the ancient solar gods. There's Buddha, there's Krishna, Jesus, Apollo, Serapis, Horus, and you'll all see them pictured kind of like this, with the old halo there. They have their fingers up there. Now that's just like a steeple. That's a symbol of a phallic, being the width of two fingers. That's a phallic. And it would often they'll have a cross there, which will have northeast, south, and west on it, or it'll have directions for the seasons. And the cross itself is nothing more than a symbol of the zodiac, an abbreviated form of the zodiac. It has the short portion on the top, which is the winter. The least amount of sunlight reaches our northern climates, and that the shortest day of the year is December 21st. That is the winter solstice. And then you have the long portion on the bottom of the cross. That would be for June 21st, for the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. That's the day that we receive most sunlight. And then you have the spring equinox and the vernal equinox, or the fall equinox, where the Earth's equator is directly in line with the sun, and so we have equal hours of light and darkness, 12 hours each. And that is simply what the cross means. This is simply science. There's nothing magical about this. But it's something that we oftentimes, because we have city lights and whatnot, and we have GPSs in our cars and compasses and road maps and whatnot nowadays, and we have our calendars, and with our having to write dates down every day at work on our paperwork and whatnot, we pretty much keep track of what day of the year it is and when we should plant and whatnot. Well, the ancients didn't have things like this. We didn't have clocks that we wind up, or digital clocks that we now have that run on very accurate quartz timing and whatnot. So they had to use the sun. They had to use the stars. And that is what is being portrayed in the Gospels, simply science. And science that has been spiritualized. At the shortest day of the year, that would be when the sun is making its shortest arc across the sky. It is now down in the Tropic of Capricorn. You might recall globes when we were children. We had globes probably in our classrooms, and we had the equator on it, but then there were also two other dotted lines on there. The northern one is the Tropic of Cancer, and the southern one was the Tropic of Capricorn. And these are the limits of the swing of the sun, because the earth is tipped, and as we go around the sun for the seasons, the sun will be on the Tropic of Capricorn when it is winter time in the north. It'll be in the southern part, our southern hemisphere, and of course at springtime, the spring equinox, the sun is at the equator, directly in line with the equator, and it moves forward to summertime when it becomes in line with the Tropic of Cancer, and that is when we derive most heat from the sun. And then from that point in the summer, it starts moving back towards the equator again, and then as it moves down into the Tropic of Capricorn again, from the northern latitudes, it would appear that the sun was dying. The length of the day was dying. So on December 21st, the sun would hang its lowest in the sky. It would make its lowest arc across the southern sky, and the sun would be said to have died, and it will raise and set in the same spots in the sky for 3 days. And then on the fourth day, December 25th, the birth of the new sun, the birth of the child, it will move just 1 degree toward the northern latitudes again. I know there are many excellent, as I was saying, videos online, but some of them have the error in them. Instead of pointing north, they point straight up. And it is a bit confusing to watch, but if you realize that the sun should be moving north, not up. In other words, it rose a 1 degree farther to the north before it rose up over the horizon again, and that's what they're intent on portraying to you. It's just simple science. It's the lengthening of the days and then the shortening of the days, the amount of sunlight that we are receiving, and it is a quite natural phenomena. And this can be spiritualized, and this is all that the teachers of old were trying to do, is take something that is scientific fact and to mystify it, if you will, to spiritualize it. And if we can learn something from this, in other words, that we're told that the heavens declare the glory of God, and we are simply using something that is just simple common science, and from that spiritualizing that. Let me continue this with a part 2. I'm getting lengthy here and out of time.